Okay, so we've been talking about relationships, and tonight I have some of the most important relationships in my life in this session. Okay, the first person I'm going to bring up is my dear wife, Adenrele Oke. She's the deputy lead pastor at Hill City. She's in charge of family life ministry at Hill City. She is a trained and a certified premarital counseling coach. Okay, she is good at the things we're going to be talking about tonight. She loves relationships, she loves people, and she's passionate about seeing people becoming the very best version of themselves and to build excellent relationships. So if you can clap wherever you are, please receive with me tonight Adenrele Oke as she joins me, all right, in tonight's session. Adenrele, you're welcome. Can you say hello to us?
Hello, good evening, everybody.
All right. Thank you for being here. The second person I'm going to bring up this evening is Helen Daniel. She is the campus pastor at Hill City, the Lekki Church. She is a fantastic trainer. She is a fantastic facilitator. Also passionate about people. She is passionate about execution. She is passionate also about relationships. Let's make welcome Helen Daniel tonight as she joins us on this session. Say hello to everybody. Helen, come on.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here.
All right. Okay, people on Mixlr, please confirm you can hear us. Okay, just put it in the comments. Okay, Joy, I see you. Purity Georgeville, I see you. Timo's Collection, I see you. Modupsi, I see you. Joseph King James, I see you. All right, if you can hear us on Mixlr, please say something in the comments. Let's be sure that everybody can hear us. And of course, last but not the least is the baby of the team. Okay, well, she used to be the baby of the team. I don't think she's the baby of the team anymore. Let's make welcome Elsie Akpabio tonight as she joins us in this session. All right, Elsie, you're welcome. Say hello to the people.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here.
All right. Thank you very, very much. So, thank you, folks on Mixlr. You can hear us. We are going to go straight down to work this evening. We have about 10 questions already. In the time that we have, we are going to try our best to cover these questions. Like I said, if you have a question, you can put it in the comments. If you want to ask anonymously, please check in the comments. In about another minute, I'm going to put a link there. Click on it, okay, and you'll be able to ask your question anonymously. But let's start with the first question tonight, and I think I'm going to go to Elsie for this one. Should I try Elsie for this one? Okay, Elsie will say something about it. Everybody can have a go. The first question says, how do I know a guy is the right man for me? How do I know a guy is the right man for me?
Okay, thank you for that question, Pastor Shago. How do you know a guy is the right man for you? So I'm a firm believer of I'm a believer, first of all. So I have over the years practiced the principle of checking with God with everything that I do, and I feel like the topic on marriage, or the idea of marriage, is an important decision in life, is an important aspect of life. And so I don't believe that you should go into marriage without running that by God. So if I run simple things about my life, in terms of my career choice, in terms of major decisions that I've taken in my life, by running it with God, I feel like marriage is running it by God. I feel like marriage shouldn't be an exception. So first of all, I would check with God in deciding whether the man is right for me. And by checking with God, I mean that over the years, I've practiced being able to tell what God's decision is regarding very important aspects of my life. And so with that, I've been able to train myself to be able to tell when God is leading me in a certain direction. And so with marriage, it's just going to come easy, running it by God and checking with my inward witness and saying, okay, is this the right person for me? So how you know whether someone is the right person for you, first from the inward witness, do I feel at peace with this person? Another thing to look out for is compatibility. So, am I attracted to this person? Do I enjoy this person's company? Is this person's values aligned with mine? Those are the few things that you check whether somebody is right for you or not. And then you also check with the person's vision about life, the person's ambition. Do you see your place in this person's life? Do you see how you can help this person achieve his dream? How do I help this person achieve his dream, realize his vision in life? So if I don't see my place in that person's life, then I don't think I'm the right fit for the person.
Okay. I think we lost your audio a little bit at that point. But honestly, I think you have done justice to that question. I don't even think I need to ask anybody to say anything over what Elsie has said. Generally, I'm going to come to you for this. Let's look at the second question. It says, do you think it's right to tell a guy how you feel about him? That is, how much you love him.
So I think the first question I'm going to ask is, which guy? Abby, if I can start from there, is it any guy, or are we talking about a guy that you're in an intimate relationship with? I don't know if Pashegun wants to clarify.
No. So I think
from different angles.
From the tone of the question, it means can I approach a guy and tell him how I feel about him? The traditional thing is for ladies to wait and for guys to come and ask them out. She's saying essentially, can I approach a guy? Can I ask him out? Can I tell him how I feel about him? I like you. I want to have a relationship with you. Let's be friends. Can I have your number? I mean,
so why I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm not sure that's the case, and why I confirmed is that that is how much I love him. Do you know, it's like there's already maybe a love relationship going on, or there. So this is not about defining or taking a turn in a relationship. So maybe I should look at it from two angles. If you like somebody, you're friends with someone, and you believe that you like this person, you would like to take this relationship to the next level. And so the first thing we always say is, we tell the guys, if before you ask a lady out, is the lady asking you out? You know, like there's a way you know that, the vibes, the chemistry. Even though I don't know, it seems some people are so insensitive that, but I just believe that before you receive a nail, it's usually obvious. When a lady, I don't know whether PhD or else will be able to confirm that, but when a lady likes you or loves you, there are the feelers there. There's just a way, like you throw a vibe and then the vibe is returned. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
You know, so I think that's the same way with a lady. If you know there's a relationship with your friends and it looks as if the person is taking like forever, and you feel, oh, you guys have had enough time, you know, I'm not saying ask the guy out. This is personal. Some people would say no, shoot your shots, you know, whatever. I'm not of that school of thought, really, because usually one thing I say about men, and I've had friends, I have church members, I have older people, I have people that look up to me, I have people that I look up to, same age, younger age. One thing I've come to realize is when a man sees who he wants to spend the rest of his life with and loves a woman, and the man is a man, no matter how much he has posed, no matter how much they go all out. I know of a guy, Pashegun knows him as well, was a mutual friend then. No, I don't want to marry you. Women's wala is too much. Women, in fact, the way the story changed in a few weeks when he knew this particular lady, we would tease him and tease now, say, Pashegun, it's you that know, I've changed my mind. Okay, I want to marry. And this person I want to marry. So usually from experience, when a man sees who he wants, they go all out. So what I'm going to say is, instead of shooting your shot personally, and then as a counselor, some things I've observed, define the relationship. Just have a conversation. Okay, so I've seen that we've been friends for a while. We spend a lot of time together, you know, and everything. I just want to know, what's the plan? Do you have anything in mind? Is this a platonic relationship? Are we in a friend zone and the friend zone will be forever? Or I think when you prompt, the guy should be able to answer, this is exactly what we are doing. You know, at that point, you will know whether he's asking you out and then how the conversation would go. That would be my suggestion. However, if it's that you guys are already in a relationship and you are wondering whether it is safe for you to keep singing his praises, saying how much you're head over heels in love, you know, and everything, then the question I want to ask is it that you are insecure in this relationship? Are there things that you have reservations about? So you feel like if you put yourself out there and you are extra vulnerable, then maybe we take you for granted more, you know, or something. So it is not about you telling him how you feel that is now the problem. That means there are other fundamental issues that you might have to address, and you might have to speak with somebody, or if you feel you can't hold the conversation, to be able to say, oh, I think we should be more expressive. I think, ask certain questions to be able to, but I believe in any relationship, male, female, we should be able to freely express how we feel about one another, how we love one another, how the extent we will go for one another. I think it makes a huge difference. I don't know if I've been able to.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm mindful of time. So if we have more time, I will come back to this question and ask the ladies. We are now in this world that says, what a man can do, a woman can do better. We are equal and all of that. The traditional mindset is the men are the hunters. The ladies are, the ladies are the hunted. I was going to say prey, but now with all the equality and all that, can't we just have this world where if a lady likes a guy, she goes to him and expresses herself just like a guy can go to a lady, or maybe they're in a relationship and the guy is a little bit not saying anything. She can buy a ring and propose to him and say, I want to marry you. And he can say yes or no. The ladies are shaking their head. So let me not go there. Let's go to question number 3. Helen, I'm coming to you for question number 3. It says, is there anything like the perfect will of God in marriage? Sorry for that typo. Is there anything like the perfect will of God in marriage, or what makes him or her the perfect will of God?
That's a really great question. Is there anything like the perfect will of God in a marriage? Yes, there is. God has a will, a perfect will for us, and it encompasses every aspect of your life, not just your marriage, your academics, your profession, your family life, your relational life. God has a perfect will for you. Definitely. Now, the B part, if I may see that question again, the B part of the question. What makes him or her the perfect will of God for you? I would like to agree, first of all, with Miss Elsie when she says for her core value is spirituality. And it's the same thing for me. Now, for you, my question would be, what are your core values? What is important to you? When you are able to define that, if you're a spiritual person, which I think is the best thing you can do, that is a great place to start from. So for me, if I had a person that I wanted to marry, and which is the same process I went through with my husband, I am a spiritual person. I am Jesus-centered. This is important to me. So I would like this also to be important to the person. Now, when his core value and mine align spiritually, it's a fantastic thing. Now, you can have multiple friends who are Christians, who carry the same core value with you spiritually, and who show interest. What makes him, or what would make her, one of the options, the perfect will for you? There are other things like your compatibility. What plans, what visions do you have for yourself? I want to be able to do this. What are your family values? What are your relational values? What are areas where you will not let go of, or areas where you will not compromise? Then people who begin to align with that makes them more compatible with you. There are situations where Yes, we have had God say specifically to one person, this is your partner, this is who you will marry. You see the person's name, you see the person's vision. For some people, yes, I didn't have that kind of vision. I'm having a fantastic relationship, but I had parameters, first of all, which are in line with Bible principles, and then my own extra principles. And in that way, you can make the right decision. I hope that has been helpful.
So, yeah, if I get you correctly, you're saying the will of God is not necessary, or the perfect will of God is not necessarily a person. The perfect will of God is principles and process.
That's correct. So the
There are
perfect will,
principles to follow. There is a process
yes,
to follow, and
correct.
wherever those principles and the process lead you to, that is the perfect will of God. Not
Yeah.
necessarily one person,
One person,
but
that's
in
correct.
some exceptional situations, maybe some people like the prophet, I think it was Hosea, when God said you should go and marry a particular person, in that scenario. So if God has not told you marry this particular person, follow the principles, follow the process. Thank you very,
Yeah,
very
I like
much.
that clarification, because at times people feel once I've missed somebody, or
Yeah.
if I have a witness that this is my husband or this is my wife and the person does not play ball, then I can never marry. Because some people are under that
Okay.
notion or under that weight. And there are times, I don't know, when at times when we have seen a couple and you feel, oh, they are the perfect wheel. Let's use this. They are the perfect combo, perfect. And 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, the perfect is not just perfecting. Again, things that, and at times when you see a guy and a lady and you are wondering, hey, are you really, really sure? Are you really, really, really sure? And they are both committed to this. They both grow. They follow the principles. They grow together, and they have a beautiful home, beautiful experience. What if I give this example? We have a lot of unbelievers, quote and unquote, that actually have excellent marriage experience. Meanwhile, we have a lot of Christians. They prayed, they received, they everything, but the marriage is a big struggle. What is happening? Like Pastor Ego said, they are not working the principles. They are not working the principles. And if you don't work the principles, the relationship will not work. The perfect will become imperfect.
Yes,
Okay,
Pastor D, I totally
so
agree.
it's not enough. Yeah, so it's not enough for me to follow the process, and I mean, so I can follow the process and follow the principles and land the right person. But if I stop following the process or following the principles after I've discovered that person, my will of God can become
Yes,
something else.
because it's process
Yeah.
and principles that will sustain the right kind
marriage.
of relationship, the right kind of marriage. Not even only marriage, even our work relationship, everything. But marriage is
Okay.
really core.
I think if I may, I stand to be corrected, but let me put this out there. One question. If God will not force salvation, if we have an option, he will not violate our will for salvation. Will God force a man or a woman on you? Food for thought.
Thank you
That's
very
not food
much,
for thought. That's
That's deep.
it's more than food for thought. That is feeding for a whole month. All right. So Elsie, I'm gonna come to you. Elsie, I'm going to come to you with this question. Honestly speaking, I'm just following the questions chronologically, and it just happens to be your turn for this one. Question number 4. It says, "He's my friend. He said he wants to marry me, but when I asked who he submits to, he said, I'm a very private person. I only look to God for anything I want. Is this a red flag?"
Run.
Okay, the first the first reaction that came to mind was what I heard now. Ron, that's a major red flag. But let's not be judgmental. So some people have been abused over time, and as a result, they've just come to something I learned is people will always throw something that is below you at you. It's your responsibility to decide how you want to react to it. So it's your reaction that matters. So let's not run too quickly into judging this person. Some people have been abused over time. So some people have gone through rejection, disappointment, and over time they've been let down. And so they've just decided that, you know what, I'll look to Jesus for my help every time I want. So you want to check. But in life, I've learned also not to throw away the baby with the bathing water. That you've gone through series of disappointments, people have let you down a couple of times, does not still mean that you should submit to mentorship, to one or two people's leadership. But for me, if somebody approaches me, I would check, why have you made this decision to look to God and become a private person? But if you found that, you know, this nothing really happened, it's just a major decision, I think that I think you should run. Because being a private person, I've never seen anybody who achieved success by themselves. You will always need people. You will always need even the most annoying of people within your circle. God is not going to come down from heaven and send you help. You would always climb through the ladder of success with people's help. So if you're not willing to submit yourself to one or two people's lead, I'm not saying have so many, because that's also a red flag. Yeah, there's a lie in there. But you should have one or two people that when they speak to you, you listen to them. You know, if you're not ready to subject or to submit to one or two people's leadership, then I'm sorry. When we have challenges in the marriage and I'm speaking to you about certain things and you're not willing to listen, who do I run to? Who do I depend on to help me talk sense into you if I'm not able to connect with you? So on the basis of that, I think it's a red flag.
Okay. Maybe if I should quickly add something there, since you guys are in my vicinity right now. So you see, submission is important. And like I've said severally, a man that does not, or that has nobody he is submitted to, does not understand submission. When he is submitted to, he will abuse it. Okay? He will abuse it. If you don't know how to follow, if you have never followed, you will not know how to lead. When you are placed in the position of leadership, you don't know what the people following you are feeling like. Okay, because you have never followed. And that's why it's important for a man to have at least one or two persons that he submits to. But let me bust your bubble a little bit, Elsie. I've heard that statement. We've said it in church for years. Okay, somebody that can talk sense. You see, submission, the power of submission is not in the person submitted to. The real power of submission is in the person submitting. So when a guy does not have somebody he submits to, the issue is not about somebody we can report him to, but that is he the kind of person that can be reasoned with? Is he the kind of person that understands compromise? Is he the kind of person that knows how to change his mind? Is he the kind of person that knows how to sacrifice his way for the way of another person? Okay, and in the process of, from teenage years to 20s and 30s and 40s, that's the process that submission teaches a man, that you don't always have your way. Okay, being a man, being a husband is a life of sacrifice. When a man does not understand that, it's difficult for him to be effective in marriage or to lead his family properly. All right, that takes us to question number 5, and I'm going to go to you, Adenrele, for this one. Question number 5 says, I love this guy and he also claims to love me, but he never creates time for us, not even for conversations. What should I do?
I think I can say something. Another 4-letter word that we can use to spell love is time. Time. So if I love you, I will give. And what is the greatest thing that I can give? It's my time. That's what we give in exchange for money. That's what we give in exchange for service. That's what we give in exchange for producing products. As I'm trying to say, there is nothing that is in existence, nothing worthwhile that is in existence. Even some things are not worthwhile that does not require time. So if I love you, I can't have enough of you. Maybe if I put P-Shex on the spot here. I remember them when we were in the university. is hostel. So we used to have like out of campus hostels, then, and his hostel, small hostel, was beside my own big hostel, sort of. Then when I was in 100 level, they started to go and read, and this man would not leave me alone. And he was my friend. He was just my friend. We're not
I
even
was
dating.
doing evangelism. I was just preaching the gospel.
I will
Doing the
see him
Lord's
off.
work.
I will see him off to his room in front of the whatever is late. Oh, he will see me off back, see me off back, see me off back. Then after we will now come because we have curfew, as in when they lock the gates. They didn't have gates.
We didn't have a gate. We were always outside.
And they didn't have gates. So what will happen? I will now, so my landlady will peep and say, Adenrele, that kind of, because I'm sure she's mixing like this girl, this good girl, that they are following this boy that I've always known in this area that is in 400 level. What is going on? That kind of thing. So eventually she will send whoever is locking the gates, they will lock the gates. I will stand on the other side, inside. If we stand and what are we doing? We are talking. Do you understand? Talking, getting to know one another, spending time. I remember then when I graduated, he would come to Lagos. If I see him off, the fear of my mother is what will make me know when I see him off to the bus stop, be coming back. As I'm coming, I'm running. Because there's a way time we pass. Then when I come, my mom will say, I don't understand. A girl that is properly raised, you as in, you say you saw Shegu off since. Let me see his leg in this house again. But the next time he comes, I'll just say, our mom say I sparked. So even by the time we got busy, I'm working a job, he's working a job, and everything. We make out time because I know somebody is already saying, hey, but you're a student, you didn't have responsibilities. No, most of the time, the hormone oxytocin, all the hormones, that's why we always say the love has to start balancing out a bit because when you are in love, I don't know. I know Mrs. Daniel is a lobbyist. You don't want to do any other thing.
That's right.
Your brain is saying, where is he? Where is he? Where are we going? What is? You do not, if you're not careful, you will be broke for life. Because look into my eyes, let's talk. So, I've not even married you. You have not even seen me as a project here that you have said, okay, I've acquired, you have kept me in your house before you start showing yourself. We are still in a relationship and you cannot make time.
So, are you saying that this is a deal breaker?
For me, it's a deal breaker.
Can all the ladies say something about this?
I don't always want to be absolute, but for me, it's a deal breaker. If you are not chasing me.
I agree with Pastor D. If you claim that you love me, at the very least, I'm not saying spend the whole day with me, but let me be able to tell that I'm important to you because you will always create time for the very important things. You cannot claim that you love me and you do not create time. It just shows that I'm not priority to you and I'm not important to you. And you cannot claim to love me that way if you're not creating time. So it's a red flag. What else are you creating time for? What else is taking your time? If this is important to you, then you commit time. It's only ideal for you to commit time to it. But if you're not willing to, what is taking your time? That is more important than I am. So time for me.
Can I throw something in there? I want Elsie to quickly say this, and then you would now put in your own bit. So Elsie, when you talk about making out time, let's picture a guy who lives in Lagos, he lives in Ikorodu and works in VI. Okay, and then you live where you live. You close from work at 5, goes in that direction, he goes in the Ikorodu direction. Will virtual communications, FaceTime, will it, accounts for time for you?
Yes, it will.
Or does it have to be physical? Okay.
No. Virtual. All right,
so Helen, go ahead with
virtual conversations, yes.
Okay. I do agree with Pastor D and Elsie. However, I would like to play the devil's advocate. For you, conversation and is spells love. Time spells love. It is important to you. Is he aware? Have you explained? I'm not asking you to nag him, but does he understand that this is important to you? I want to assume you've not had a conversation, you've not told him, or you've not clearly stated it out. Please, before you run off, explain to him. Like Pastor Shegun has said, he may have a busy schedule. I appreciate your schedule. I know you work from morning to night. I mean, when in the early stages of my marriage, my husband will leave the house at 5. He's back at 10. I know it's stressful, but I've been by myself the whole day. I've not had a conversation with anyone else. I would love to talk to you. I would love to share your day with you. And he said, making changes. He will come back in an effort to help. He will start speaking and then he will sleep off. But that the fact that he tries is enough. I know you're tired. I know you are tired, but you have made an effort. I'll take it as a win. So please explain to him this is the situation. He may not describe it the same way as you do. Conversations may not be his thing. It may not be as important to him as it is for you. You may require more details than he's used to sharing. You may require more time than he's used to giving. So please let him know this is the situation. It is important to me. And if he sees, and like you say, he loves you, he would make adjustments, and you'll see those small adjustments. In the tail end of my relationship before marriage, it was long distance. He was in Lagos, I was in Kaduna. There were days where we've not spoken, but I found and he found ways to check in. So let him know, this is important. This is how I feel. What can we do? Don't expect him to suddenly be available. Appreciate whatever schedule he has and let him know that you're willing, to work from there, and see what small steps, and encourage those small steps, praise those small steps, and then he would learn to speak the language you want to speak also.